And welcome back to Metropole Sports Center. My name is Nashon Owano. A lot of sporting activities happening. It is exactly 1 week before the English Premier League officially kicks off, and I'm joined in studio with the resident, I don't know whether to call him the resident Manchester United fan or supporter, to make sense of what has been going on. Clint, yes. Good to have you on the show once again.
Nice to be back. It's always a pleasure.
A lot of things have happened since the last time that we had. You were here on the show. Arsenal won 2 cups. The keyword win is in
2 cups.
Win is in cups.
Yeah.
So an interesting thing that maybe we need to talk about is has there been any tactical change in the team of Arsenal the past few matches as you've watched?
Okay, just to get it in there, Nation, you've won a cup and a shield. Let's just say it's a shield.
But it still fits in the trophy cabinet, right?
Yes, it fits. It's better than what United have won in the past season. Yeah, but we spoke last time when I was here, and we said that Arteta didn't have an idea of what he has to do in his team, but currently we've seen, since we last spoke, he's actually galvanized the squad. Players have come in, and as well, you can see a plan in place for what he's about to do this coming season.
Speaking of adding players to the squad, Gabriel joined the team early this week. What do you make of that? Do you think he's going to have a significant impact in the squad as it is right now?
Yes, any new addition to a team is always a breath of fresh air. So Gabriel Magalhaes is a defender. Yes,
centre back is actually a centre back. Yeah, plays on the left side.
I actually took the time and watched his highlights, and he's actually a very solid defender. He kind of reminds me of Nemanja Vidic at Man United. So yes, he going to galvanize the squad, of course, and he's going to be a breath of fresh air from the current defense you have, because let's be honest, your defense is not the best defense.
Even after we added Willian,
yes, attacking, offensively you're good, but in the defense you are lacking. And I don't know the situation with Aubameyang, and if he's going to sign,
man.
The contract.
He's gonna sign. That's like a.
But the thing is, it's taking forever for him to sign.
As I was telling you, you're much more concerned for Aubameyang being a Manchester United.
Yeah, I mean, I love seeing Aubameyang in the Premier League. Let me not lie. He's a goal scorer. It's always good to have a goal scorer in the Premier League. I mean, we have Aguero. Why would we not have Aubameyang? I mean, it's taking forever, Nation, but I don't know if he's going to sign. Like you say, he's going to sign, so...
I think he's going to sign. Speaking of taking forever, it's the transfer of Lionel Messi.
Yes.
There's been a lot of conversation with relation to whether he's going to actually leave Barcelona. As of this week, the most contentious aspect of that whole conversation was to go with the payment of the release clause amount, or to go on free transfer. What do you make of that whole conversation?
Lionel Messi as a player, I believe now he's reached a stage where he's tired, and he was told that he's going to be backed by Barcelona, and they want to bring players who are going to challenge for Premier Leagues for titles and Champions Leagues. So he feels like Barcelona have let him down. They've not done what they promised him. So for him wanting to leave, it's not a surprise. Messi was going to leave Barcelona eventually, and guys are just not ready for him to leave at the moment. So it comes as a shock to people, but the team he goes to is now, that's the problem now, because the team he goes to, Barcelona don't want to let him go, and they don't want to let him go on a free, because let's face it, Messi is a brand by himself. He attracts viewership to La Liga. When Ronaldo left, Messi was the one who was left to carry La Liga, and now that he's going, it's now a challenge.
The amount of money that you're talking about, that's like 700 million euros.
622 million.
622. 622,
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money to be paid for a single player. Now the question is this: whichever team that he goes to, because there's already been conversation about him going to either PSG or Manchester City. You're going to touch on that a particular bit in a few. Do you think if a team is ready to pay that amount of money, they're going to get a return on investment?
I mean, it's Lionel Messi. He has to be if not the greatest player of our time. So definitely he's going to return that investment. I mean, he's proven it in La Liga. He shows up week in, week out. He rarely gets injured. He is up there with the best in terms of goals. He's won trophies. I mean, he creates play. He gets the ball from one opposition box to the other. I mean, he's just the best.
He's
I mean,
a top-notch,
he's a top-notch
player. Speaking of Lionel Messi, there's been the biggest conversation has been he's been highly linked to a move to Manchester City, and just off air we are having a conversation on whether you will fancy that a move, Lionel Messi to Manchester City as opposed to PSG. What do you make of that?
Wow. Let's just be honest. If Lionel Messi comes to the Premier League, that would be the best thing that would ever happen to the Premier League right now. The return investment, the viewership will skyrocket.
Ticket sales
will skyrocket. T-shirt sales will skyrocket. Yes, the likely team that he'll go to is Man City because they are the ones who look like they can afford him. I mean, Man City is not the richest club out there. You can put them up there with Real Madrid, PSG, and we have to look at the style of play as well. Will Lionel Messi want to join a team that doesn't suit his style of play? Because when it comes to that team, he's going to be the nucleus in that team. He's going to be the dictator in that team. I mean, if you don't play to Lionel Messi's tune, then you can't be part of his song.
Because even if you look at when he was playing at Barcelona, the style of play was actually angled. Was basically centered around Lionel Messi. The same thing is happening to Asena because you see right now, even with their play, every single touch of the ball is geared towards.
Yeah, and we have to know something here. Like Lionel Messi has been in Barcelona since he was a child, so he only knows one style of play, tiki-taka, and which suits him. So
as a player.
So the Premier League is a whole different aspect. You'll meet a Stoke, you'll meet a West Brom who.
Leeds back into the league.
Yes, Leeds are back into the league. The team which will press you will not give you a chance on the ball. Can he be able to manage that? That's another question we need to ask ourselves.
Okay. So a move to PSG, how will that look? On paper, it looks like a good deal, but in the field now, practically, in terms of the lineup of PSG, where do you think he's going to fit within PSG if he's going to make a move to PSG?
Looking at PSG and the Champions League final which they had recently, they lacked that number 10. They did not have that clear-cut number 10 position, a player for that position. So Lionel Messi, if he goes to PSG, will definitely play in that 10 position and he'll dictate play. But one thing we need to know about Lionel Messi as well, he can cut across the front three. He can play wing, he can even play false 9, he can play right, he can play the 10. So he cuts across. If he goes to PSG, they'll have a very good player in their hands.
Apart from Manchester City and PSG, which other team do you fancy he could move to?
Well, I could see him going to United, but...
Of course, because you're a Manchester United
But fan. I don't think we suit his style of play at all. Rarely do we play tiki-taka football. It's just... pace, he has pace, but we don't have a natural. We have Bruno Fernandes who has pace and is a box-to-box midfielder, but Messi would definitely not fit into Manchester United's play.
Okay. Speaking of Manchester United, there's been the whole conversation about Van der Beek joining Van der Beek in Manchester United. What do you make of that whole situation? Do you think he's a perfect fit for your squad?
Yes, Van der Beek is a very, very good signing for Manchester United. He's 23 years old. He was bought for £45 million. That's actually a bargain in this market, considering we've been linked with Jadon Sancho, who I believe is still coming.
Which did not get.
Yes, who I believe is still coming.
You still believe he's
coming? I still believe he's
coming.
Still believe? Big deals take time, Nashon.
Wow.
Big deals take time. And how many days do you have? Like 30 days for the window to close. So it's 120 million we're talking about. So that's a long, long time before we actually put some money. But United don't want to be baited. That's the thing. You don't want to pay in excess. You see, that's...
I think you guys have already paid excess for other players in your squad.
Yes, but this is another astronomical figure we're talking about, 120 million pounds. So if we want to sign him, we'll hold out until the last minute, so that if they don't bulge, that's when United will go in and actually buy Sancho that amount. But you see what we're doing right now, we're buying other players in other positions. So let's say if we had paid 120 million for Sancho, we're going for Van der Beek. We've also been linked with Upamecano from Leipzig, who I believe he's signed a contract at Leipzig. So if his release clause is 60 million pounds, if he comes, we'll have to pay the 60 million, which I believe, again, is a bargain for the best defender in the Champions League this past season. So yeah, we definitely are getting a good signing in Van der Beek.
Overall, within the English Premier League, there's been a lot of changes. I know this might be too early to talk about, But let's do a projection. Maybe at the end of the season, we are going to sit down and see whether our projection is actually right. Who do you fancy to be in a top 4 at the end of the season?
The lineup for the top 4, or just
the teams in terms of the team
positionally?
Yeah.
Well. Okay. You have to look at Man City, number 1, because they lost the league last time to Liverpool, and Pep usually never wants to lose again. And he's of course under pressure because he got out of the Champions League for knocked out by Olympic Lyon at Etihad. So it is not they'll definitely have to invest. They've actually bought in a midfielder to replace David Silva, and of course to have to buy a attacker to replace Leroy Sané. They've been linked with actually Lionel Messi, who, if he signs for that team, I mean, if Lionel Messi signs for your team, you're going to win.
I think that's going to be like the biggest signing.
Yes, he's already not signed for the Premier League, but he's already just a big deal in himself. So if they sign the right players, Man City, which they definitely will, they'll definitely challenge for the title. Number 2, I see Liverpool. Liverpool, as you saw in the Community Shield,
Liverpool, we were talking about the performance of Liverpool. What... Like they've sort of like taken a serious nosedive just after they were declared the champions.
Yeah, you see, it's called a champions curse. If you play your best, your utmost 100% every game the previous season, you definitely have burnout the next season. You can't expect to be at a high level the next season because you already in high spirits the previous one. So you could tell like they're a bit off the pace. Even I think they had 2 or 3 games in preseason. And they actually edged out those games, and they actually incorporated youngsters in their team. So the team has had rest, and Arsenal surprisingly exploited that, and they actually did a job on them. But I believe they can't be bad players overnight. I mean, it's Liverpool, come on. They can't be bad players overnight. But if now currently they have depth in their team, which they did not have previously. They bought players, they bought a defender, they actually have Minamino, who actually scored in the Community Shield. So Liverpool will definitely be up there, second for me. Third, I have to give it to Manchester United.
Please tell me Arsenal is somewhere there.
Because Manchester United, yes, we're buying players, and we have to do something. I mean, last season we finished without a trophy. We've been knocked out of 2 semi-finals.
But you guys have been celebrating about the Champions League qualification. I have a friend who's...
No. You see, Nation, when you qualify for the Champions League,
I know it's top tier.
Yes, ask any fan. You give yourself a chance to win the Champions League. At least you have a chance to go all the way to the final.
Okay.
Yeah, who knew Leipzig would be in the semi-finals? I mean, they gave themselves a chance by qualifying for the Champions League.
Yeah.
Okay, so Man United third for me. Fourth position, I have to give a surprise in Spurs.
Okay.
Spurs.
Spurs.
Yeah, because Mourinho I don't think usually down for long. I mean, yes, his time is over. He's done out here as a manager. His tactics are old school, but I just believe they'll sneak in somewhere into the top 4.
Interesting. You mentioned the issue of tactics. There seems to be a total tactical shift in the Premier League teams, because if you look at the likes of Mourinho, their style of play
is outdated.
You're having younger coaches like Arteta coming into the Nini. I think it will be interesting to see whether this coming season is gonna be top notch to finish in top 4.
Exactly, and you see, you also have your Wolves. You also have your Sheffield United. You have your Leicesters, who we were not even mentioned.
Yeah.
So I believe you guys are in top 8.
Wow.
There's now the top 8 which you have now in the Premier League. But Arsenal, actually, I said this earlier, they have a plan. So you can see what they're trying to do. And actually achieving the Community Shield is a big boost for those players' motivation. Now they'll see that, wow, we can actually win something this season.
Arteta has a vision. I think they also Arteta has a vision for us.
Yeah, exactly. And they actually see themselves achieving something this season. You're in the Europa League. And I don't know about the depth squad of Arsenal at the moment, but you really need depth squad to compete in all cup competitions which you're in. Yeah.
So you heard it firstly on Metropole Sports Center. We are making our prediction into which teams are going to be at the top 4 positions at the end of the league. Probably at the end of the season, we'll have a sit down and see whether our predictions have actually come to pass, man.
Definitely.
Thank you so much for finding time to come on the show.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, so we take a short commercial break. I'll be joining you after the break to make sense of money in the world of sports. See you after the break.